Previously on Teets TV, EDG gave the beatdown to Team Heretics on Map 5 of Grand Finals at Champs 2024 Seoul. Their double controller comp proved to be too empowering for the EMEA juggernauts, constantly keeping them on the back foot, merely guessing at what China had up their sleeves next. The lead, 8-4. But now, the tides have turned. With Abyss being the most attack-sided map in Valorant history, Team Heretics have a chance to claw themselves out of this 4-8 hole and give themselves one last chance at becoming world champions. Now this begs one question: how? Just how do Heretics make this big of a comeback and push EDG harder than any other team at this event? But more importantly, how did they stop the bleeding? Well, with generational talent, anything is possible.
I'm gonna destroy you guys. Hope you guys ready.
Now, I've been getting a lot of comments from you guys concerned about my health since I've been posting so much. And I have like 7 videos ready to go for this month too. And y'all would be right, I do work a lot. But without some of the equipment that I have, this workload would not be possible. Like my iQnix keyboard. About a year ago, these guys sponsored me and gifted me this beautiful keyboard that I still use till this day. It's the same one. And now recently, they've hit me up again to showcase their new Easy series. Each keyboard features 8,000 Hz polling rates, effectively reducing their latency to 0.125 milliseconds. Yeah, say goodbye to input lag. And for faster response times, say hello to their rapid trigger, which enables 0.05 millimeter sensitivity, allowing for almost instant response times. Their Easy series also features a unique esports gasket design for absolute accuracy, minimizes mistouch, and enhanced overall performance stability, setting it apart from traditional gaming keyboards. With an aluminum build, it is durable, stable, and will last you a really long time. I mean, just listen to the sound and feel of this thing. It brings a tear to my eye. But that's not all. iQnix and Gateron have developed the latest breakthrough, being star-trailed magnetic switches. These utilize magnetic coupling and the Hall effect for swift and precise key responses. It does not get any more accurate than these. And now, if you really want to play like your favorite pros, you can literally use their one-click setup to copy their settings. That's right, there's no extra apps you need to download for these beasts. Just use their user-friendly web-based software. So what are you waiting for? This keyboard literally gives you a competitive edge. It's kind of pay to win. What more could you want for Christmas? Go ahead and click my link down in the description to gain access to the world leaders in gaming keyboards. The second half of the biggest game of these players' lives starts with EDG in a 2-1-2 setup, something we're going to see all game. In part 1, we witnessed how EDG's comp is forced to keep their team spread out across the map. Without a traditional sentinel, you have to do this, otherwise whichever part you leave empty becomes a huge question mark. This goes for either half. Now, Team Heretics' plan is to make sure EDG are committed to their 2-1-2 setup by defaulting across the map. First B, then mid, and finally end A. EDG kick things off by contesting B main with a one-way. You'd think this isn't possible as there's nothing for Omen to clip into, but with these plants, you can. And by placing it up here, anyone on the upper level of B can safely punish attackers for swinging, not on the lower. It's kind of a bait. To counter, Rians rips his recon, and Heretics crouch underneath. Wait. KangKang, what is this piss around by? If your plan is to fight this range, why not use a ghost or a sheriff? Okay, well, the offense get past the spooky smoke, secure Sova and Orb, and both jets exchange pot shots, KangKang being chipped. And just like that, Heretics have accomplished step 1 of their game plan, pressure B. This means that throughout the round, the defense aren't going to have any idea of what's going on behind their dark cover until they commit themselves or an important piece of utility to check. So with question marks successfully generated outside of B, Heretics back off, take the zip, and meet up with Gecko to pressure mid next. On the wings, they've left Jet to punish a physical reclear, and Cypher's spy cam is holding A. The 3 musketeers start to slowly move up library, completely uncontested, all the way up to, wait, Fish? Is that really the call out? And KO barely spots a sliver of Sova's arm, and hears some pistols go off. Simon retreats, but this is a disaster for EDG. With question marks created on B, mid, and kind of A, they've spread out into an even 2-1-2. And now? Heretics could do whatever they want, and it'd be a good idea. Go A, B, A split, B split, 1 fish, 2 fish, the world is their oyster. But their decision is to back off. They break the door to vents for even more pressure, and they meet up with their Cypher over on A. Now, EDG have somewhat of an idea, because Smug and KangKang are staring down the barrel of B and don't spot a soul. They relay this information back to their A teammates, who pop their first nebula, and nobody hops inside.
That puts, hold on, nobody in Chishu on an island, but nobody. What are you doing? Giving away your position here.
Yeah,
But
I mean, firing the dart.
he gets away with it.
That the play was being made here, and they've lost control of mid into the process. Oh my God! Nobody!
Spike down A.
Oh, goodness me!
He's come up with the pistol round that might have sealed the deal for China, for EDG, for the team that he just took over IGLing for.
On the Rico, no one at Heretics bought a thing, wanting to save up as many credits as possible for their first full buy, which is most likely the last chance they have at a comeback. And despite being a floating ghost, Boo took fall damage in the buy phase. Now the Classics didn't stand a chance despite taking down the initial Guardian. That brings us to Heretics' first full buy of the half and the most important round of these players' lives. Losing this one means they'd have to eco next, giving EDG a solid chance at pushing match point. Their plan? Similar to Pistol. Slam A, but first default across the map in a 1-1-3 to ensure that only 2 defenders max are here contesting their execute. The round starts and the battle for A main begins. A shock traded for Dizzy, and EDG pop their first Nebula. Miniboo disrespects it behind Rians' recon, and now main belongs to the offense, capped with a star ready to be pulled in case of a reclear. In the meantime, Boo got busy on B. As the round started, he pulled back this ramp star, threatening that someone could have crossed. Shortly after in mid, Cypher's lobbed a cage over library and later another on catwalk, preventing the defense from pushing up. Against a no set no comp, you have to expect the defense to get proactive and take space somewhere to make up for the lack of bots. But they haven't. Now, the big difference between this round and Pistol is one thing: KO's positioning. Back on round 13, KO is playing in Fish, playing extremely passive for information. But here, he's staring down mid and hasn't spotted anybody. If he doesn't get pushed back, he can rotate to either site with extreme speed. So then that begs the question: are Heretics applying enough pressure? Well, when I was yapping, Rians has sprinted all the way through spawn and is grouped up with Boo, and he rips his drone. Smoggy steps in and takes it out, but that's it. Omen just gets back on bookshelf and neither B defender hears anything. Simon gets a little suspicious, but once the smoke fades, his mind is made up. With no noise on B and no one in mid yet, he makes the immediate decision to run and stack A. Think about it. If the attackers were to go mid, it would take too much time, so he can take this calculated risk to leave mid open. Even if Heretics have a lurk, the defense should be fine. Now, while KO was sprinting towards A, so were the attackers. And as soon as he gets here, he whips out his fragment, Omen picks up mid, and the defense brace for impact.
Into the hands of these players on either side here. It's a pull to meet that one with the Dizzy. Pound for pound, bodies are going to drop and fall, but it's Hardy. It's perfect once more. Nobody and Simon, they combine their might. They drop these Heretics players dead. Time against them once more. Boo needs to get this kill and will do just that. Defending, punched up. Rians, rounded about KangKang.
KO wasn't the only one with a gut feeling that it was A. Before he even rotated over, Chichu placed down a second star, which was later used as a grav well, which separated this execute. Combine that with a well-timed recon and KO molly, Heretics were not getting out of this choke. And Simon's flash even caught the offense trying to wrap back sight. Heretics failed in their objective. They didn't create enough pressure around the map and ran into 3 defenders. But Boo abused the Sentinel-less comp, bagging 2 equalizers. KangKang got the trade, and with 5 seconds left, he knew that Rians had to stick the plant. Things are not looking bright for Team Heretics. Their weapons aren't great, EDG are one-off match point, but they do have one big purple win condition, Astra's Cosmic Divide. With it, their goal is to go B and use it to split the side in 2 and close the gap between EDG and their 5 Vandals, which are in a 1-1-3 setup of their own. Astra is going to anchor with her 2 stars. This one makes pushing in a backside from either side a nightmare, and this one grants her more breathing room to escape, rat around, or her teammates to flood in and help. Sova spotting mid this time, ready to recon behind these double smokes, and these 3 have a double flash and dash punish play on A. But by the looks of this offense, these dirty bubbles are being put to the test. Round 14 starts. The offense immediately begin creeping towards ramp, and Boo lays out his Cosmic Divide in such a way that it blocks out these long range angles that EDG played on their anti-eco. He then pulls back his ramp star, providing his team additional cover, and Miniboo pops his tailwind.
The post, it's fast and loose. But it's what they require in a moment like this. Up and over, Chichu weaving in and out, needs to stay alive in this time, but already being swarmed, Dizzy up and around in his face. And kills are collected at least, with Chichu dropped as a chance. Plan already down for Heretics. What the ults are good for here. But up through heaven as well, plenty more bodies left to meet them. Slamming away, Mini Boo! Sheriff in hand. He's done enough surely for them.
One big plus that people don't consider about Astro's Cosmic Divide is that it acts as a big riot shield. On normal buy rounds, that's not the craziest thing, but when your team doesn't have money, that's huge. Here, this purple giant allowed Heretics to close the distance on site completely uncontested from the Vandals. Then, Boo popped 2 more smokes beyond the wall to allow his team to take more favorable fights with their close range weapons. This led to Miniboo finding a timing and somehow getting 2 with his Sheriff. Now, EDG kind of messed up here. The thing about facing saves is that they're way stronger on offense, as naturally you're grouped up and can snowball lone defenders. Meaning, if you're getting swarmed as a defender like Chichu was here, your best option would to be get out, just give them the space, and team up with your other Vandals and tackle the Stingers head on together. Chichu instead got caught in the blender, and KangKang kind of got unlucky with his spam. But in situations like these, chaos always favors the ecos, because anything can happen. Had EDG just let the dust settle, they'd be able to push the SMGs back and move onto match point. But now, there's room for a comeback. Losing that round was a big deal for EDG. This round, they're kind of buying. Smuggy is spending all of his money so that if he loses this round, he can't buy, and everyone else seems to be buying for next. That means there's a weak link in the defense. If Heretics can snuff it out, they can take another round. But EDG's setup does a great job at concealing it. On B, Sova and Astro are formed in a high-low, ready to mow down anyone who swings lower. Attackers who peek into this are dead, and by that time, it won't matter if Heretics know where the Sheriff is. They're dead. Now, do you remember that flash trap play we talked about last round? Well, EDG are doing it again. And odds are we see it in action. Heretics want to default into this space first, then eventually head back to B, but is their default finally going to get punished? The round starts— Wait, Teets! Jimmy, I'm starting the round. What? I know, but mid is wide open. Why? Are EDG stupid? Jimmy, the reason why mid is open is because let's say Benji wants to get frisky and actually walk all the way down and push into defender spawn. In order to do so, it would take about 20 seconds, and that's if he just straight up W key shift walks in there, which at this high level play probably isn't going to happen. The calculated risks like leaving mid open are a great thing to take so you can form stronger setups elsewhere. So once these 3 farm with their flashes, then KO will drop back and pick up mid, and it's like he never left. When you aren't running a sentinel, you have to do setups like these. So, as I was saying, the round starts and the offense take their time on A, but 10 seconds in, Woot launches Dizzy forward, which is exactly the signal EDG were waiting for.
So Paranoia probably to accompany this, and yes it is. Moves its way through the dart though. Responds and Heretics push back. Defensive play of EDG.
Well, it was a good idea, but now that A's been capped off with a one-way, the offense feel like they've done their job by applying a ton of pressure on A. Heretics slowly back off, swapping places with Cypher so he can hold on to all this space they've claimed and contest a reclear while his team goes B into the Sheriff. Now, it's at this point where the defense are set up exactly how the offense want. KO's drop back to mid, meaning it's a 2-1-2 with question marks all around the map. Again, doing anything at this point, again, isn't a bad idea. But after the knife not tagging anyone in mid, these two spotting anything on A, EDG have a gut feeling it's B because of this nebula that's been popped for a while. Anything could be behind this thing. So nobody hops into their own smoke.
Most of these plays as well, but barrels out, instant trade, Woot is good for it. Star up and over, Chichu trying to stun, trying to stay alive, but against that, it's an onslaught, and it's overwhelming. Simon back in the fray, in the fight, but dropped at a moment's notice like that.
This comes through. They actually need those weapons. Kills like that, really important. Look at Smoggy's credits.
Okay, well, Chichu could have had a Vandal and nothing would have changed. KO being there on time didn't even help. Without a Sentinel, EDG cannot be playing on the back foot, constantly just guessing where the offense are headed. They need to be more proactive. KO didn't see anyone in mid? Well, go for a walk. Or you can gamble. You're up 6 rounds, stack one side and try and retake the other. Without a Cypher or Killjoy to hold on to map control, defense won't be easy for EDG if they just keep standing around. EDG are in trouble. Heretics are starting to get into rhythm.
This could be the day I die for you.
Who needs an opening ceremony? Get these guys out here next time.
On a real note, it was really smart on KangKang and Smoggy to save last round. Maybe they planned on saving, so that's why the buy was so scuffed. But now they can squeeze one more buyout before having to save, which makes this round the most important in the game. If Heretics win, the comeback is real. And they're running the same default as last round, except more potent. But EDG have completely changed their setup. KO and Astra are playing to stall with their 0-point Insight Star, which should buy time for the 3 mid players to fight or walk down and flank. But ain't nobody got time for that. Heretics fly through the buy phase right behind Dizzy, Astra pulls back her star, and Miniboo updrafts on top of Stack. This default is topped off with a recon, and it forces Chichu to burn his sight smoke. This purple balloon separates the site in two, making it extremely difficult for attackers to push through. But not only that, it isolates the duels that Heaven players have to take. Either push through the smoke and deal with people camping past it, or walk the plank and hopefully don't die to the Heaven or backside guys swinging you. But it's all a fake. Asher and Cypher are back on B, waiting for the signal to start moving, while Gecko moshes back sight and Sova drones through the flood smoke. B is basically free now, but the offense are having second thoughts. Wait, everyone stop. They're going to re-clear, and I'm gonna kill them. Come back to A. Okay, pause. Now here's where, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of wrong. You know how I was yapping at EDG because they weren't getting proactive enough? Well, the thing is, that's how normally you guys should be playing if you're running a comp like this. These guys are just playing the highest level mind games that you've seen at the top level. Because if you've watched previous EDG games, you'll notice how whenever they lose map control, they'll almost instantly re-clear and fight for it. Like in this round against Sentinels, they started by taking lobby, but lost mid in the process. Now, not even 20 seconds in, and Sova is droning out mid to re-clear the lost ground. There's a ton more examples like this, you just gotta trust me. So in this matchup, they aren't doing that. EDG understand that Heretics are going to have done their homework and know that they love to re-peek and re-clear. By delaying your pushes, or never re-clearing at all, you waste the offense's time or mess with their game plan, like you see right here. So originally, Heretics' plan was to fake A and go B, but now it's to punish EDG's re-clear and then burst into A. Jet calls Cypher back, he's on his way, but leaves Astra to lurk. He spots mid with his cam on his way, but nobody has darted A. Normally, it's KangKang peeking out to re-clear, but not this time. Gecko and Sova think quick and duck behind cover to dodge the scan.
Have to be called here for Heretics.
All right, time's up. Rotating to B would take too long. Let's do this.
Worries me that Boo is so far away.
The reveal. What a mistake. Stack of players is now coming. Dart. It's going to be Cloudbursts. Cannot defend. KangKang away from that angle. Still Heaven untouched. And Chichu around the back as well. Good with the aim, but still damage not enough done. Hunter's Fury, if nobody is let loose, it's ripped out into place and the kill is collected, but used in kind by Rians. It's not an ult that they're going to have here. And EDG, they can pounce on this.
Despite having 3 defenders here, Heretics did great. Look closely. At the same time, Sova's recon landed and a Miniboo Cloudburst. Which one do you shoot if they're both coming at once? But was it on purpose? Well, that doesn't look like a lineup, and Astra was 180'd waiting for it to land. Accidental or not, that was picture perfect timing. Not only that, but Benji tapped the spike to bait out this Hunter's Fury. It still found one, leaving us in a 3 versus 3, but with Sova at 1 HP, and no more stars, and Sova blowing his ult, playing for spam is no longer realistic. So the offense box themselves in and start to go hunting.
Trips into the backside controller, Paranoia sweeps his way through and cuts out those angles. Dart up and over, swing from Benji, Boo provides the finishing cover, and the firing line is there. Simon can only do so much. The position like this.
After last round's loss, EDG are forced to save again. Now, the game's starting to get too close for comfort, so the defense urgently take a timeout. Guys, we're gonna have to buy for next. Heretics are coming back, so we need to focus up and lock in. Okay, KangKang, you're one off your Bladestorm, but the orbs on this map are pretty attack-sided. Wait, Astra, you can buy. Would you mind giving your Vandal to him? If he gets a kill, he can pop his knives and give it right back. No, it's my money. Stupid question. Wait, huh? Coming out of the timeout, EDG have a solid game plan to punish Heretics default. It's been a few rounds, and the defense have taken note on how Cypher's been putting down this spy cam in mid, and he's usually here by himself. So by triple pushing down, they might be able to find an extra potential rifle. But why wouldn't we give our rifle to Jet? In ranked, I get it, but don't you want one of the best duelists in the world to have the Vandal? Especially when he only needs one more point on his Bladestorm? Him getting a kill means 2 free guns for EDG. Bad Chichu. Greedy. Regardless, the defense have info on the wings, fighting in middle, while Heretics are starting in a reversed 3-1-1 default. The buy phase ends, and EDG wastes no time getting active. Omen one-ways B to slow the offense, and KO knifes deep on A for the same reason. But as EDG walks down, Benji slaps his cam behind the bookshelf. Exactly what the defense wants.
Hoping, praying for a play made, dash forwards, KangKang. It's lighter weaponry to work with. Benji Fishy has to hold back the line, overwhelmed and swarmed. Too many bodies. The Bladestorm is unleashed.
Yeah, that's what you get for not being a team player. But KangKang's trade opens up the entire map. What we didn't notice was that Heretics dodged nobody's early recon, which gave him the false sense of security to push up. It's an eco, go make a play, it's not that bad of an idea. While he didn't get any kills, he did get a lot of information. It's pretty hard to tell without a replay system, but Sova probably saw 2, maybe 3 players here, and with Sova in mid, EDG know exactly where the rest of the offense are. And with Bend existing, Sova now has to worry about 2 different avenues in which EDG can flank. The guns are now split up. Rians has dropped to spawn, Boo has hopped up on Danger to avoid getting backstabbed, and these two have pushed Heaven to make up for the lost space in bot mid. And now EDG's decision is to push through Bend and down the zip. But, the Heaven's guys' asses are just out.
KangKang aims to do the most, and an open sightline head is found.
Knives
Out for the
refreshed.
side once more, Boo. Swings, perfect timing, but leaps into the fray and wasn't expecting that. Smorky, fully aware. Rians potentially accounted for, maybe heard the footsteps, maybe not, I'm not too sure. Still gets the job done. Time is ticking, Woot to do it all. Thrash in hand, he can seek to deny, he can seek to delay, up and over the TP, Woot! Has he got it done?
That's so close.
The circle shrinking.
I don't think he's got it.
It's milliseconds, Smoggy! Oh my!
Heretics are simply confident. In between this round and last, there was a tech pause which can sometimes drain the momentum of comebacks. When you're sitting around a while, that high of adrenaline starts to wear off. But Heretics decided to sonic boom EDG straight away and pick up right where they left off.
Slip away, mini boot. It's a rapid play from Heretics. He's going to be leading the charge once more. Bladestorm, dash to the side. Evacuation, caught on either side. Up and over though. The high ground perch and potentially the danger zone. Dizzy up and over the top. Connections abound. Heretics are dropping them all in their place. It's Rians. Watchful eye onto all the angles. He dominates them onto the site. Heads available, ready to be popped. But it's
Blinder, and they've taken the final kill.
EDG couldn't save a thing. Round after round, the defense buy up, lose. Eco, buy up, lose. Eco, and it's showing in the scoreboard. But the difference between contenders and champions is how you respond when you're backed against a wall. KangKang's invested most of his eggs into one basket, being the Guardian, and his plan with it is to trudge down B main behind his KO's knife, which should push the offense back and allow him to get into prime position. Now, lucky for him, Heretics are headed right his way. Their plan, I think, was to default mid-heavy with both stars plus a recon, and just abuse their Vandals to win these long-range engagements. So, if KangKang wants to be a champion, this is his round to prove it.
wrangled, twisted out of the hands of these EDG players. The pressure shifted onto them, and KangKang forced to step up to the moment. Dash to avoid, and shots are fired. KangKang, he's monstrous when he gets going, and he does it almost single-handedly.
After KangKang's heroics, EDG are now only 1 point off from becoming world champions. They're back to their patented 2-1-2 spread, but this time, China's superstar has invested into an op. And now, Heretics, who have no more extra lives left, are back into a standard 3-1-1 default. Being one off their Cosmic Divide, they're going to pressure across the map, make sure EDG are on the back foot, then hit a site. Starting on B, the barriers fall, Orion scales up Heaven, activates his Aldrone, and Heretics immediately discover EDG's op. But this allows Boo to move up and grab the orb. Heretics have successfully applied pressure on B, but their teammates have been getting active as well. When the round started, Woot flashed mid for info, and Cypher's Spycam caught nothing in main right before EDG smoked it off. And now with the op taking an aggressive angle on B, Benji felt like this part of the map was weaker and decided to disrespect this nebula. But nobody didn't want to lose this space, and after a quick recon and shock dart, it's his. Now, despite not really taking A or mid, EDG still created question marks in these areas to root the defense in position. Nobody even droned shortly after, but it was too late. Heretics are already grouped up and ready to go B.
Weapon of this man right here. Been highlighting him, been gassing him. He's going to be under that pressure, but still delivers. One shot found.
After the first blood, both squads are at a stalemate. Both cosmic divides create a bizarre situation where neither team can do much. But this does allow Rians to plant in the god spam spot. Now they can just go back and play to spam the spike, especially because EDG just burned their big ass purple riot shield, even down a player. Wait, the walls are coming down. Are we really pushing?
And shut Simon with the ult. Paranoia sweeps. This is it. Attempt to deny. Quick scope in blaze. EDG. It's up to Boo to push them back and away. TP's up and over. No kill to be found. It's one man. What can he do against the bite of EDG?
If you missed part 1, check it out. It was pretty good.